guys. This is the SNA podcast again with your Super Ninja Austin. I'm gonna be talking about the wrestling news right now. Let's go. Okay, we start off with AEW and then there's wrestling news about AEW's upcoming pay-per-view All In. Hope you guys check that out a week from this Sunday. And it, And yeah, there's gonna be top guys like MJF, Sting, John Moxley gonna have their respective matches, and and then there's rumor has it that Goldberg is gonna make his AEW debut during the pay-per-view. But I'm not sure if it's gonna be either a he's gonna have a match or is he gonna make an appearance, he's gonna sign, he's gonna make his presence known as he's all elite. But we're gonna figure that out when we hear the wrestling news, and we figure that out when the pay-per-view has come this week from this Sunday, which is I believe 10 days away. Yeah, but what y'all think? Is Goldberg gonna make his AEW debut, or this is gonna be all just an elaborate rumor? Y'all let me know in the comments. And yeah, and then let's just let you know, Goldberg's rumor expired last year. I'm not sure. I think it was towards the end or middle of, like sometime probably around this time of last year. I believe Goldberg made an exit to WWE. I'll say I think he could join AEW, but I'm not sure it would be at All In because there's not there haven't been no references or even anything of the sort about Goldberg, about any teas or Easter eggs about Goldberg could sign with AEW and making his debut at All In at Wembley Stadium. And yeah, his last match, of course, was against Roman Reigns at Elimination Chambers for the WWE Universal Championship. And more news for AEW All In. Damn. But yeah, more news on AEW All In. And then we're gonna see what's the next news. It says an AEW source that is very upset about the lack of communications for AEW's All In event. They get everything ready and prepared for that. So I don't know what's going on in the insider of All Elite Wrestling, but I'm gonna be keeping a sharp eye out on this news and to keep you up to date. And it says it's going to be their biggest show with a whole lot of fans. I forget how many are going to be in counting, but it says it's going to be enough way over than the first ever WrestleMania show for WWE. And this is probably truly like their version of WrestleMania, but in the summertime, of course. But yeah, listen more from sort of one of my excellent wrestling YouTube news source. It said also Bryan Danielson would have been part of the show, but thanks to his fractured arm from New Japan and AEW crossover event Forbidden Door, from when he wrestled Kazuchika Okada, he suffered an arm injury, a fractured arm that's going to keep him out for a little while. So I think they're going to keep him out of the show. Unfortunately, I hope, and for Bryan Danielson out there, like I hope you get a full and fast, speedy recovery. you're in my thoughts and prayers, by the way. But back to the news. And then and also the talent being upset of I think their position, how they're positioning in a way into the All In pay-per-view, like most talents, because there's really not really much storytelling into the rivalries. Yeah, but let me know what you in y'all's opinions down in the comments below about the matter into AEW and their upcoming show. Okay, we got some Imperium news from WWE about there's tensions on the reform group with Gunther, Giovanni Vinci, and Ludwig Kaiser. Mostly Gunther being upset with both Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, and they've been lacking wins lately from the past weeks of them being drafted over to Raw, and he wants them to be more of a dominant faction like him alone, when it's including him being IC champion. And then put you more. And it seems like Gunther is determined on should he stay with the duo or not. Not, and he's probably thinking that he can do better alone in character, of course, not like literally, but it looks like WWE has some plans for them to split very soon, and I'm gonna keep on looking onto that on the show and everybody else's appearance down on the web and YouTube, like into the IWC, which stands for Internet Wrestling Community, of course. I'm gonna keep keeping on insider of Gunther and Gunther and the rest of the Imperium's status as a tag team trio, but or faction, I should say, because they usually got more than 3 or more group wrestlers teaming in a group. They're called factions, like in wrestling, of course. But anyways, back to the story. And according to my source, Slot Rock, and then surprisingly from his source, BWE, I'll say sort of a source, but he gets his information from him by reading his articles online, which is according to him, which he goes by the name BWE. He said there's no plans that WWE are going to split up the Imperium faction, and then this is just an elaborate trap, an elaborate trap just to make the fool the fans to seem like that they are going to split up, but they're actually not. Like they're going to have some disagreements and arguments, but they're still going to stay as a successful trios faction that is going to try to be the longest running trio faction, longer than probably beat the New Day's record. But I don't know about all that, but I'm just thinking that's what they're probably trying to plan on doing. But I'm not sure no faction's going to be doing that. There's no way. Like nowadays, factions last for like 2 or 3 years. Like it's the longest, yeah. So we'll see about that. I think they're gonna the longest running trio is of the trio is gonna be, I would say perhaps 3 to 5 or even 6 years. I just cannot see them being longer than that, but I still think they'll be long enough to be a successful heel faction. But let's go to the next. But yeah, there's no split despite the teasers of it on from this past Monday on Raw, with Gunther being upset with both Vinci and Kaiser. And yeah, Gunther's like, I would say 22 weeks, they're not weeks, 22 days away of beating the Honky Tonk Man's record. But like I said last Monday on Raw's review, do y'all think that Chad Gable can stop him from beating the Honky Tonk Man's record and become his first ever singles champion? I'm gonna still let y'all decide down in the comments, but I think that, and like I said, I think Gunther's gonna retain. Next month he's gonna remain as champion, and then I think either at Payback and that's when either at Payback or what's that pay-per-view at October? I think it's Fastlane. Yeah, that's right. Because they at WWE starting to have a new rule, like some secret rule that they want wrestlers to have longer reign as champion that past a year beat older wrestlers as reigns as champions, or even the wrestlers that's currently there, like with the Usos beating the New Day and that one old school tag team from in the 80s. I forget their names. They had a longer reign champion, but I think their third reign overall in WWE as tag team champions. But yeah, I think that's what they're doing with Gunther. They're planning on him being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history, and also planting the seeds of Chad Gable winning the championship at either Fastlane or Payback. And then we're gonna get to the next news. It's like we got some more AEW news. It's that why AEW it's got some more AEW news as that Darby Allin it's basically about Darby Allin's hot take on the TNT Championship right now, I believe. Of his title reign, yeah. Yeah, according to AEW's their little talk show, internet talk show with Tony Schiavone, AEW, what's it called? The Control Center. According to the AEW Control Center, the face painted star, his hot take. He says, I'm gonna be honest, when I say this, to me, the TNT Championship he said, let me read this right now. If I'm gonna be honest, when I say this, to me, the TNT title used to mean something. Within the last year, I felt like it lost its value. I remember the people that used to hold it, and guys like Cody, guys like Brody Lee, myself. Back then, it meant something. Now it's like a potato. Like a potato. But she's saying like it has lost its value and it lost its prestige from the last year, because it's not like it used to be when the likes of when Cody Rhodes and Brody Lee from the 2020 and Darby Allin holding it in 2021, like when it was something to look forward to watch from back when AEW was kicking NXT in the ratings, like when they used to be on Wednesdays. But now it seems like AEW is like a hot potato. It's keep passing through, like going going to championship title holder to title holder, which I kind of know what he means because like with the likes of Wardlow and Samoa Joe going back and forth, and with Powerhouse Hobbs, it just goes directly back to Wardlow, and then he lost it right after he won it back to Luchasaurus, and then I believe next week on Dynamite, but I'll think. But yeah, I agree with the championship status right now. It's really lost plenty of prestige, and that's probably because it's been. I think, on my opinion, I think it's because of the title changes, and it's like if it's just a secondary lower mid card championship, like if it's the 24/7 championship of like the AEW 24/7 championship, in my opinion. Like it used to be like a United States championship the United States championship of the AEW brand. Like when the likes of Cody Rhodes hold it, he was like their John Cena doing weekly what's that title defense like, and then there's guys like a weekly open challenge, that's what it was called, the weekly TNT Open Challenge. Like he wrestled the likes of Ricky Starks, Lance Archer, Eddie Kingston, you name it, like from 2020. It was like John Cena with the United States Championship back in 2015. But now it just seems like once you have a title match, it's just going to be a guaranteed title change easily. And then there's without any demeaning, but the likes with Wardlow, but I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some good matches with the likes of Wardlow and Luchasaurus, like that match. And then there's and I'll say, even though I haven't watched the match at Double or Nothing, I think it was Double or Nothing when Wardlow took on Christian Cage, and then Wardlow won the match with a little assistance and help with Arn Anderson to even the odds against Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, and then Luchasaurus, but that's about it. Like that's about it, and I would say and I would say I've nothing much to say now, but let me know in the comments down below, like what do you think about the TNT title? Like, is it still has its prestige or did it lost it? Okay, let's move on to the next. But Darby Allin's gonna challenge, I believe, Luchasaurus, which Christian Cage claims that he's the true rightful owner of, and the reigning defending champion, which is the TNT title. But we're gonna see next month, I believe, is All Out. So we're gonna see who's gonna walk out as the TNT champion. But but y'all also let me know about that down in the comments as well. Who's going to win the TNT title, which I'm pretty sure Darby Allin will win. But the thing is, Luchasaurus had just won the championship a couple weeks ago against Wardlow, or even a few weeks ago. I mean, back last July, I believe was the first. No, it was at the end of June. Yeah, it was the end on the first episode of Collision, I believe. But if I'm wrong, then correct me down in the comments. I would like to hear that. But Luchasaurus beat Wardlow with Christian Cage, hit him with the ring bell, I believe. But I would say Luchasaurus is probably gonna retain, and then that's when Darby Allin's gonna win it in the upcoming, I don't know, Dynamite or Rampage. Not Rampage, Collision, and then he's gonna beat him because why not do a title change? Like if it's not gonna be at the pay-per-view, it should be on the show that's on TNT, which is which is the show, which is the home of TNT, because now Dynamite is on, which is with the TNT, which is gonna be on the TNT show. Excuse my nephew, he's being so bad right now. He's screaming at his grandma, which is my mom. But anyway, back to the news. I believe Darby Allin will win that Collision. Like, whether if it's the Saturday after All Out or a couple Saturdays after All Out, but you will. But anyway, yeah, I think it's gonna be. Why not do the title change? If it's not the pay-per-view, do it at the show that's on TNT. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would say Dynamite would be all right, but yeah, that's my little nephew. Sorry about that. Uncle's doing a little podcast right now. But anyways, back to the story. Yeah, y'all let me know when Darby Allin would win the championship, because I think he's gonna win. Not now, Trey. Okay, say hi to the camera, and yeah, I like to introduce my nephew, Atreyu. Sorry, he's not dressed for the camera, but yeah, he'll be making future appearances into his Uncle SNA's podcast. But yeah, back to the news story. And up next, we got this Friday SmackDown Edge, which we're gonna get to that. Which we're gonna get to on this match against Sheamus, which some say this might be his last match on the Friday Night SmackDown, because he did made a comment about the next time he goes to his hometown, Toronto, Ontario, that he's gonna retire there. But I would say this could be the perfect time to retire, but I would say this is gonna be a bit too soon for him to retire into his own terms, because he can have so many matches, in dream matches with new stars, new faces, and even upcoming stars. And even upcoming stars like whoever jumps ship to AEW, like including MJF, of course. But I think that he should wait off and do this and wait for his 30th year anniversary of being on WWE and making his WWE debut, like in 2028, like a similar scenario with The Undertaker, like when he made his retirement, like when he announced his retirement in 2020. Even though he had his retirement match like 7 months prior, like at WrestleMania Boneyard match, but that was a perfect ending. But maybe I could be wrong that he should retire, but yeah. But then again, it's all just a rumor right now. It could be a true one that like after he have his match against Sheamus this Friday on SmackDown, which is the guy who, with Sheamus, he's the guy who helped him got back into the ring, into WWE, like of being on that bike ride, and then he made that huge crash, like which he had plenty of bruises from head to toe. I wouldn't say head exactly. I would say more like right down in his lower half, like in his thigh and his backside. But yeah, but anyways, Sheamus sort of helped him realize that if he could take a bump like that, he could easily take a bump in the ring, and then that's what made him start training back into the gym, continue training in the gym, and then he went to his doctor and see if he's cleared, and then that's when they cleared him. Which, yeah, if it hadn't been him doing that with Sheamus, he wouldn't have been sure that he would have ever been in the ring, and he wouldn't even have an incredible return and main event at WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, and have dream matches with the likes of Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and much more. But what do you think? Is Edge gonna retire after his match against Sheamus, or is this or this could be an elaborate rumor to 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 have us worried about Edge's career of him ending shorter shorter than his run the first time when he had to forcibly retire, when he had like a 13-year career. Yeah, but yeah, y'all just get. I don't say 13. I would say 12-year career. Let me correct myself. Oh no, I'm right. It is 13 years. Pickles, what are you doing? Oh, what are you? But my apologies. My apologies. Just just some family stuff. But anyways, yeah, let me know. But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments below that if Edge really gonna retire. And I think this could be a perfect way to retire, because he did had like a pretty short but historical 3-year career, like since he made his return at the Royal Rumble in 2020. And but yeah, like y'all let me know down in the comments. But I still think this could be all just an elaborate ruse. But yeah, let's get back to the. Let's get to the next news. But yeah, he said it last year at an event in Toronto. Like this could be his last match if he ever has a match next time, and he is gonna have. And this is the next time he have a match. But he could just change his mind. But that all depends. This Friday on SmackDown, which we're gonna get there tomorrow night on the SNA podcast episode. I'll say episode 5. Yeah, episode 5 of the SmackDown review. Episode 5 of the SNA podcast, of course, but the first review of Friday Night SmackDown. And then his trainer even admit that this could be his last match, but according to Ringside News, their source says that. And then they said, according to Ringside News' sources, that they talked to a couple of people in creative. There's no plans for Edge's retirement, and this is all just rumors. So yeah, like it could be just all be rumors out in the internet, which there's been known about that. But there's also sometimes the rumors could be true. Like it just depends on what are true or what's not. But yeah, back to the status of Edge's career in WWE. And then and they said that Edge, and then people in creative said that Edge thought that this year's SummerSlam was going to be in Toronto, which would have been perfect for both him and Trish Stratus, and then that would have been a perfect match for her and Becky Lynch. Like that would have been the perfect way for Edge to retire. But unfortunately, that didn't happen because it was in the Motor City in Detroit, Michigan. But anyways. And then according to the rest of Ringside News, that they'll say there'll be plenty more of Edge despite his match against Sheamus, and there's going to be plenty more of him in the future, and even for next many couple more years to come with the Rated R Superstar. Next news, we're going to talk about the concussion lawsuits from the last 15 years that WWE had to handle, with plenty of wrestlers filing lawsuits against them with neglect of any medical care of when they're getting concussions. And that led injuries and it leads long-term effects like when including what's his name suffering that fate, Chris Benoit, like which caused which been claimed that was the cause of the double murder suicide, but there's many more wrestlers that suffered this fate, and some filed a lawsuit of WWE's gross negligence of not being concerned about it. But it was soon dismissed that they didn't have any proof that there any physical or paper physical and paper proof that they haven't been noted by a doctor that they have suffered a concussion from in the ring in WWE. And then they assume it's from another promotion that they wrestled to, but the wrestlers were like they didn't got this, like they were perfectly fine before they even signed with WWE and when they were at that particular wrestling promotion, but WWE wasn't buying it because they're not trying to rethrone the what's that called basically the lawsuit papers, yeah. So they go and they're going with the paper. They say if you don't have no paper proof, then we're and that's what in the court, like the judge was like basically like if you don't have the paper proof, then we can't do nothing about it for McMahon to compensate for y'all's injuries and concussions, like concussions and basically and then the lawyer, Mr. And then Konstantin Karos, he was warned about his shady legal practices of suing WWE with his clients, which is some of the wrestlers that suffered the permanent concussions that they sustained in the ring. Like they say, like they warned them to not of using these shady tactics of suing WWE. And then the former WWE wrestler and in American Wrestling Association, Jim Brunzell, according to him on this interview, and in his take on it, he hopes that it revives and then whoever suffered that fate gets their compensation that they deserve, and get the compensation that they deserve and successfully sues WWE and be compensated with a settlement that they deserve, basically. Which I'll say, on my opinion on this hot take, like on my hot take on this situation, I mean, well, the way I would see it, I hope that we literally did suffer concussions and injuries from WWE and never been compensated or settled with a settlement. I hope they do revive it and sue them and get the settlement that they deserve. But what do y'all think? Like, let me know. Let me know about that down in the comments. But back to the interview. But yeah, but this former WWE star, WWE and AWA star said that they hope they get the settlement from them suffering Alzheimer's or dementia or any other kind of head trauma. which I would hope that too. And I hope that WWE cost him, yeah. And I hope that they stay. And then they and now we got some okay, but yeah. And then okay, up next we got some Thunder Rosa news. Thunder Rosa news because she's been out of action since last year. It was the beginning of this year. I don't know. Well, specifically, but I know that she got injured. I believe it was at the end of last year. It was like around October, November, where she had to stay out of action. They had to have an interim champion, which was, I believe, Jamie Hayter. But when they showed that she was gonna compete for a long time, they stripped the title out of Thunder Rosa, and then Toni Storm, or not Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter became the new undisputed women's world champion, AEW women's world champion. But we got some news about Thunder, and according to news, that there's some times that she might be cleared from her back injuries, like according to my source of a source from AEW about and it said she could be cleared sooner rather than later, and she could be competing back in the ring, and in those days could possibly be in the next month or two, maybe. Oh no. And she said she's gonna be a part of, and then according to Twitter, she tweeted out that even though she's not gonna compete at All In, but she's gonna join the Spanish commentator. Well, that's some great news from the former AEW Women's World Champion, and I hope she does recover very soon, and and even compete in the ring. And then, on my opinion, like I would think she should be, even though it's kind of bratty and controversial and arguably a horrible some kind of arguably decision, but I think that Thunder Rosa should bring her title that she originally won when she beat Britt Baker last year in a steel cage match, I believe, against Dr. Britt Baker DMD for the Women's World Championship. She should bring that out. She said she should be. It'll be a similar CM Punk situation, but I wouldn't say make it entirely like CM Punk, but I would say make it in a way like him. Like, I still got the championship. Like look, it still has my name on it. Like it still has everything like it was like when I very first won it. Like and there's gonna be exclusively on AEW Collision, like CM Punk did, but except you would go on and on like CM Punk did. It'll be her version of what go on and on about, but it would be like see, it has my name, and I'm gonna be defending this as the real women's world champion. And then whoever wants to face me for the championship, they got an open challenge. But yeah, but what do you think about Thunder Rosa being the Spanish commentator, and when do you think she's gonna come back in the ring? And do you think she's gonna be, and do you too think she's gonna be holding the Women's World Championship? Y'all also let me know down in the comments as well. Yeah, I would like to hear that. I don't want you to get hurt. Well, I will touch you. And then she also said that she might be doing some autograph signs. So you UK fans are going to the show. I hope y'all get an autograph from from Thunder Rosa, and I hope you too, Simon, can make it into the trip. Shout out to you again, Simon Miller, and the rest of the World Culture crew. I hope you, Adam, Phil, Andy, and Garrett, and whoever that's going to be going. Hope y'all have a wonderfully good time if y'all going. And I hope you, Simon, hang out with Thunder Rosa and even be similar to y'all's encounter and hanging out in Las Vegas for AEW Double or Nothing, which y'all looked like y'all had a splendidly blasted time, and then hopefully y'all have the similar fate, except but better, like in the UK, in your home turf, Simon. But yeah, anyway, back to the news story. Now we got some Sami Zayn news. Like ever since he got kicked out of the bloodline, he earned himself an undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Roman Reigns at that following Elimination Chamber, which he unfortunately came up short because of unfair cheating advantages. Yeah, with Roman Reigns having help with the likes of Solo and Jimmy Uso, with him retaining the championship. But luckily, the fans had a treat of Kevin Owens doing a beatdown on the whole bloodline, including Paul Heyman, which did a hilarious spot. It made even my brother and my brother's girlfriend laugh. Had a blast of laughs when Kevin Owens hit the stunner on Paul Heyman, he gave enough room for Sami Zayn to hit a very beautiful finale Huluva kick right on the Tribal Chief to give him a taste of his own medicine. Or I wouldn't say a taste of his own medicine. Beat him at his own game, but hit him in his own finishing move, which is the Huluva kick, of course. But back to the news story about. But we're going to hear more news about Sami Zayn. We're gonna hear, but anyway, we're gonna hear some news. Some news about Sami Zayn in this interview with Ryan Satin. Ryan Satin on the Out of Character podcast. Sami Zayn admitted that it was hard for him to. But it was hard for him to lose to Roman Reigns at that night at Elimination Chambers from the current undisputed tag team championships on this podcast, on this interview podcast, that it was hard for him to lose at Elimination Chamber, because he was in his hometown. He nearly had him won. And they could have, and the title change would have been a possibility. First, it would look like it was probable because Roman Reigns is gonna pass the 1,000 days as champion, or even hold the championship at WrestleMania 39 or longer. But it looked like it could have happened with Sami Zayn winning the Undisputed Championship. But unfortunately for Zayn and the Montreal fans and us Zayn fans, he didn't win the match, yeah, and but it built up to the WrestleMania tag match in night one's main event, and he was and he said, but yeah, he was so close to winning. It looked like the title change could have happened, despite what everybody in the backstage management thought of him, that he wasn't the guy, and then he proved them wrong of giving Roman Reigns a run for his money into his title reign as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. But yeah, but the reason why they booked him then to the match, it was the fans. it was the fans that pushed the WWE management of giving them that match, because he really didn't actually have a WWE title match ever. Like, yeah, like whenever it was for a WWE title, it was in multi-man matches. Like, but this was actually his first ever one-on-one singles WWE title match, and then the fans got him over of him getting that title opportunity, like, because they wanted to see into the story, like when him getting kicked off the bloodline, he should get an opportunity for Roman Reigns' title, which unfortunately he lost, and then he lost, but that helped, but he actually gained some out of it by winning the Undisputed Tag Team Championships against Kevin Owens, even though it's not a world title, but it's the title that is going to help him crumble down the bloodline, which it worked. But yeah, that's a story for another day with the bloodline crumbling down. But yeah, but it was very similar to a Daniel Bryan situation. And I can understand one thing on WWE situation, that if Sami Zayn did win, like, then it would have put themselves in the corner, like who to root for, because Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn are two top baby faces in the company. So they say we're gonna have Roman Reigns land only because Cody Rhodes is gonna face him at WrestleMania, and then that's what happened. And then, but yeah, we're thinking like what could have happened if Sami Zayn did dethrone the Tribal Chief on that night at the Elimination Chambers. And what do you think? Like, let me know down in the comments. Oh yeah, like it was a similar situation. I believe they're gonna have another opportunity of being WWE champion. And like with Slaprock saying, it was a similar situation like with Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston, like back in 2014 and 2019, when Daniel Bryan was having a difficult time being known as the A+ player, and then he had to prove that by getting over with the fans. And then the fans had to push WWE management of giving them that opportunity of winning and becoming the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And 5 years later, they did the similar story with Kofi Kingston. And if it hadn't been for the fans, who knows what could have been. Like, they wouldn't have had that historical title victory at the biggest show of the year, which is known as the Showcase of the Immortals WrestleMania. But anyway, back to the. Oh, let's see. And now we got some Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson news. Now I should say, yeah. Now the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson news. Now he'll be. Rumor has it that he was going to be at SummerSlam, possibly being in an altercation with Grayson Waller, into the Grayson Waller effect of Grayson Waller making him as a special guest of the show on SummerSlam. But none of that, unfortunately, didn't happen because it seemed like The Rock was too busy for SummerSlam, and then. And The Rock's personal writer from WWE, Brian Gewirtz, noted that The Rock, that's it. From the Masked Man show, they said it's unlikely, and And then and Brian works on this Masked Man show. He was like, on this podcast, he was like, I don't, I'm not sure if we're gonna see The Rock anytime soon, despite the strikes out in Hollywood, because he might have some other projects that he's working on despite the strike. Yeah. And then this is probably going to keep him from making any kind of WWE appearances. And we're probably not going to see the Brahma Bull into any kind of WWE show, any kind of live WWE show anytime soon. But yeah, but well, well, but let me know in the comments what kind of projects that he possibly could be doing right now outside of WWE and Hollywood. But also, try you. But it but he said but Brian Works like I don't think he's gonna come back because it'll be a bad PR move for Hollywood, even though he's not doing much of a strike. But there's most actors in Hollywood are on strike. We're not getting paid enough and paid enough in the whatever movies they're being casted in on, and then casted on and The Rock do not want to be known as the guy that's bringing bad PR by joining back WWE just yet, and it's not for anything like Hollywood like or even just taking a leave of absence just to have one more match in WWE. But yeah, Well, yeah. What do y'all think? Like, is The Rock gonna come back to WWE and have one more match, or do he has anything else in mind? Like, y'all guys, let me know in the comments. But yeah, Brian works on his opinion. He's not gonna rule out that he's not gonna make a return to WWE. Like that remains to be seen. Like, but yeah, like he's still not gonna make any kind of returns just yet, despite the strike. And we're gonna see more of this, like more of what's gonna happen next for the Great One and the People's Champ soon enough. Okay. And we got some more news from my source, Slap Rock. And then we got some AEW news, more than AEW All In news. And it says right here, the Blackpool Combat Club, they haven't booked into a, and it's been noted on the wrestling news that they haven't been booked into a All In match yet. But it all changed since last night's show when, like what I talked about yesterday on the AEW Dynamite news, that Eddie Kingston challenged the Blackpool Combat Club and 3 of their tag team partners of their choose to face him and the Lucha Brothers and the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, and Chuck Taylor. And we're going to see them into a 12-man 6-on-6 stadium stampede match. Because yeah, like what happened after the match with Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta, which Orange Cassidy successfully retained the championship, and the Blackpool Combat Club attacked him, and then that's when Best Friends and the Lucha Brothers and Eddie Kingston came out to fighting them off, and then they challenged, and that's when Eddie Kingston made the challenge at All In for the and then it says right here, and it says let's be a stadium stampede, yeah. And then and I thought it was on both years in 2020 and 2021. The last time we had a Stadium Stampede match, it was like in 2020 it was Team Delete and the Elite, Team Delete and Elite, with the team of Matt Hardy, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Adam Page against the Inner Circle at the time, Jericho's older faction with Santana and Ortiz and Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager, which is formerly known as Jack Swagger in WWE. But anyways, that's when they had the first ever Stadium Stampede match when Hangman Adam Page was riding on that horse, and then way after that, like Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page had a little drinks at the bar area, but Kenny Omega was drinking a glass of milk while what's his name was drinking a glass of cold one. They cheers on and they drank their drinks because Kenny Omega is also straight edge, just like CM Punk, but also. And then Jericho hit the Judas Effect, which was very funny. I watched the recaps of that Stadium Stampede match. It was very funny. It was very comedic indeed, like in a very hilariously dumb way, like the dumb being funny, of course. And I believe, and what else happened? Oh yeah, I believe Kenny Omega did one spot. He hit. I believe it was Sammy Guevara. He hit the one-winged angel right off that forklift, or was it? No, it was right off right in the audience. No, I think it was a forklift. Like it was standing up in the air, and he hit him right through the table. Hit the one-winged angel, and what else happened in that event? But yeah, it was very fun. It was very cool in the pandemic era. It was something to watch during the lockdown, like something to watch and look forward to. When there was when you couldn't really leave the house unless there was something that's for necessities. But yeah, that was good to watch when you're in the house all day. Like you should check it out, and you guys that haven't already should check it out. And for those who watched it, y'all know where I'm coming from. It was very good. It was very great to watch during that year in 2020. But anyway, and then they did it all over again, but it wasn't as entertaining like what it was last year because the lockdown. But I'll say one of the reasons that the lockdown was being no longer. Again, everything was starting to open up, and then sports events and concerts events and all kinds of live events started opening back up and then having live events, including WWE and AEW bringing back their fans. And then they were going to city to city and state to states in America because everything was starting to open back up in that following July. But it happened. But the Stadium Stampede match happened at Double or Nothing in 2021, which I believe it was the Inner Circle against the Pinnacle, which is MJF's faction. MJF, I believe the Inner Circle won this time. It was with Jericho, Santana and Ortiz, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, and against MJF and his crew, which was MJF, FTR's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, Wardlow, and Sean Spears. Which I believe they won. I didn't really see much of it. I only seen like the highlights and the recaps of the event. So, but I'm gonna move on to the next news. But I still think the Stadium Stampede match would sell out, like because they're gonna probably learn from 2020's encounter with the Inner Circle against the Elite and Team D Elite and Delete, and I think that we're gonna see plenty of hilarious and spectacular stunts and move sets of them doing the stunt, like hitting their moves right off the top of the stadium, or right on the top of the audience, or even like whatever. Yeah, something that's very funny. Like I'm not sure if I can see the pay-per-view event, but I'm gonna definitely see the highlights and the recaps of it. And yeah, let me know what y'all would think was gonna happen at that Stadium Stampede match down in the comments below. During the pay-per-view, of course. Okay, we're gonna get to the next one. Let's see. Okay, my bad. I lost the video of my wrestling internet source, Slaprock. I'm going back to it.
Get off of me. Oh, God.
Talking.
Are you done yet?
Not yet. I'm just messaging somebody because they just did it right in the middle of the video. I mean, I'm not in the middle of I get messaging me while I'm still making the video. I'm telling them about it. Yeah.
I was like, tell him to be ready whenever you're done making your video. Curly. Curly. She would be like, shut up, Mama.
Right.
I would be teasing like beta. I'm stupid. No.
Right. Yeah, sorry taking so long. One more minute.
I guess after he broke my skin, he got tired.
And you should.
Look, get on my ear.
I'm still looking for my bad. I just.
I already fed you, girl. I did that before I even went to class. They went outside, sweetheart. Mommy went outside. I got to fill out my prayer request too. Stop. Stop. Stop.
I better hurry this up. Fielder needs me right now.
I'm not trying to tell you that.
Okay, back to the video. Sorry that took so long. I was taking care of some family business, but yeah, back in. And then up next, and the next thing on AEW's news, that we're talking about Chris Jericho and who he's gonna face. We finally figure out who's he gonna be, as we saw, like we were talking about yesterday at AEW a Dynamite review. Like Jericho was ambushed by Bullet Club Gold, Switchblade Jay White, and Juice Robinson. And even though it's not gonna be against not Juice Robinson, Switchblade Jay White, I mean. Well, yeah, I think it is. They did attack him, but it's not going to be neither of them. It's going to be none other. And I believe everybody was talking about this in the rumors video. It was it's none other than I think he's the reigning defending United States IWGP champ, Will Ospreay. Yeah, that's who it's going to be. It's going to be none other than the European, no, not Europe. I'll say the British New Japan star, Will Ospreay. Yeah. Because back in the backstage, I'm not sure if I told you this, but I think I forgot that because he declined his offer. And then there's more news on AEW with CM Punk also banning Christopher Daniels. I'm gonna see what was the rumor has the reason why, because they banned Ace Steel from AEW, his personal trainer. And then when they hired him back, they were AEW was noted that there's the insurance risk of being in the company. So I think they re-released him. And thank you. And they said that he's been banned in Collision because he haven't been back and been saw backstage in AEW's Collision. So and then it looks like someone else did it, because it was obviously not CM Punk, because he wouldn't ban him. That's his personal trainer. My bad. I think I said re-released, but he didn't got released. He's still in the company, but only for CM Punk's for CM Punk segments and matches, like because he's his trainer and he's training CM Punk into whatever match he has or whatever he help him to be booked in. And I think the reason why Ace Steel's banned from Collision is because CM Punk banned also Christopher Daniels along with everybody else with the likes of Hangman Adam Page and Ryan Nemeth and many on, and I think Jack Perry too. He has an issue with him backstage too at Collision because the rumor has it CM Punk's like their own backstage leader at their show AEW Collision. And because he's exclusively on that show on Saturday nights, so make sure to check it out, and also check out my AEW Collision review. But yeah, and they have two different jobs, but they both banned on Collision. Maybe it's because to get back at CM Punk because he's banning everybody, and then I guess Christopher Daniels was the last straw, so they banned his trainer, Ace Steel. But what do you think about this? Think about this back and forth rambles about the two parties. Let me know down in the comments below. And I'm gonna have to make this video short because I have some other personal business I have to take care of, so I'm gonna make this video short. So I'm gonna do one more news story right now, which being okay. I'm gonna talk about this Gable's. We got some news from WWE now with Gable Steveson. The reason why they moved him down to the developmental territory, which is known as NXT, and because it's all about the barely legal trending on Twitter about the misconducts of minors that the wrestlers got encountered with, like with the likes of Gable Steveson, the Velveteen Dreams, and many more, are including on to the country. And also another wrestler named Marty Scurll, and then also for Steve. And then despite them using that trademark barely legal, it seems like they're not going to be using that term anytime soon with the misdeeds of their former wrestler Velveteen Dreams and their current wrestler Gable Steveson. But I would say maybe this is going to be the actual final wrestling news story right here. We're going to end it today with Lacey Evans possibly leaving WWE and going by her real name because they don't have nothing creative for her, and she's waiting for her contract expiring, which is probably going to be very soon in the next few days. And let's see on this matter. Because she posted because sorry. Oh, I forgot to say, yeah, because they trademarked the form barely legal from the ECW from their the ECW event because they own the rights to EC. That's that's probably one of the reasons why they wouldn't use. That's one of the reasons why they wouldn't use it because they because it's starting to trend on Twitter about the misconducts from the wrestlers that been in controversial misconduct situations with a minor. But anyways, back to the story with Lacey Evans, which says that and she confirmed it on Twitter that she finished her time in WWE, and then I think she requested her released, or but yeah, she said only just a few amount of days later, so she could be known as her real name, which it goes by Macy something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out by researching that later on. And yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments. But yeah, she said she's finishing her contract, but it seems like she's saying that she's either finished with WWE, like either her contract's expired her or that she requested her released and they granted it, which she's probably gonna have to wait 90 days for the non-compete at another wrestling promotion. But at the meantime, she looks like she's gonna find some work elsewhere until that time comes. If she's still interested in the world of professional wrestling. But yeah, let me know what you think about this down in the comments as well. Did her contract expire, or did she requested her released and she gotten it, and she's probably gonna not gonna compete in our company between probably until anytime November, like in the middle of time, like in the middle of the week. Like, but yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this matter down in the comments. I hope y'all like this video. But yeah, if you do, make sure to leave a like, comment, and share with your friends all over social media. I'm thinking about trying to make this channel bigger, and and then be known as the wrestling podcast a YouTuber, which is like every other YouTubers that's out there that's talking about the world of professional wrestling. Like I'm trying to get better and better. I'm slowly getting there. Please bear with me, folks. Now, I hope you viewers like this video and comment below and let me know what you think about this video, and so I can make this even more and more better. And yeah, make sure to check out my new video, which is the SmackDown video, which is it's gonna be tomorrow night after SmackDown, and then after that we're gonna do a AEW a Rampage review. Hopefully you'll enjoy that in the future, and then I'll see you all there in those next two videos. And this is your friend Super Ninja Austin here, and this is his podcast, which is known as the SNA podcast. And see you then, and hopefully y'all have a great evening. Sass out.